24 families are filing lawsuits over the massacre at Stoneman Douglas High School.
They say they're not getting the help they need, and they even allege the Broward School District is working against them in Tallahassee. CBS 4's Carrie Codd is working this story live from Fort Lauderdale. Carrie.
The lawsuits are filed on behalf of victims and survivors, and as you mentioned, a number of them involve the Broward County School District. An attorney that I spoke with today who recently filed a couple of lawsuits in this case told me he believes these endless lawsuits could largely be avoided if legislators in Tallahassee could create a victims compensation fund to pay for the ongoing pain and suffering of the victims and survivors.
This is a life sentence for me. It's every day. It's 14 months. I want accountability.
Mitch Doret's son, Nick, is one of the 17 people murdered at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. Doret joined nearly 24 other families Wednesday in filing negligence lawsuits against the Broward School District, the Broward Sheriff's Office, Henderson Behavioral Health, School Resource Officer Scott Peterson, and Campus Monitor Andrew Medina.
I'm not going away. I'm in for the long haul. This is not normal. This is not right.
The question for families and attorneys is this: why hasn't a victims compensation fund been established for the families of the deceased, the injured, and the students and teachers who witnessed such horror? Why do they have to file lawsuits? Attorney Jay Cohen is representing two students who were in the building on February 14, 2018, one of whom narrowly escaped death and watched teacher Scott Beagle die as she ran to his classroom for safety.
Is able to, at the last moment, get into a classroom that a teacher was able to open the door and grant her safety and access, and she did. And right as that happened, unfortunately and sadly, that person was shot and killed right in front of her, right over her.
Cohen said that young woman is suffering.
Therapy is critical. Therapy is important with respect to all of these surviving victims.
He believes a victims compensation fund established by the Florida legislature would eliminate the need for many of the lawsuits and give the victims and survivors access to funds for therapy and other needs.
This tragedy should be resolved, I think, in a political forum as opposed to a courthouse.
Alyssa Olideff was murdered at Stoneman Douglas. Her mother, Lori, is among those filing suit Wednesday. She's also a school board member and told us by phone she doesn't feel the Broward School District did all it could to lobby for a compensation fund.
They should have gone to Tallahassee and really showed the different legislators that we need to get this claims bill passed for these families and not put these families through more pain and suffering.
So as you mentioned in the introduction to the story, there have been allegations that possibly the Broward School District was working against the victims' families, trying not to establish that victims' compensation fund. We asked the school district about that. They told us Broward County Public Schools has been working to secure a victims' compensation fund, and that it retained Gray Robinson to assist the district in its advocacy efforts. The statement continued, at no time has the district or Gray Robinson lobbied against the compensation fund. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Carrie Codd, CBS 4 News.